Tell me how the three of you got together on this project.
Mo and I met when first year of pharmacy school. We're put in the groups of 6, and he was in my group. That's pretty much it. And I knew how me and him worked together through group projects. And I know you reached out to New, and I kind of came to you saying, hey, I want to work with you. And you were like, oh, I've already talked about it.
Yes. I actually read this book by Carl Sagan. The book kind of goes into, it talked a lot about outer space and how important science was. And I had just finished the book just before this program was announced. And it just felt like all of the stars were aligning, so to speak. And it felt like something I had to do just because it was almost too good to be true. So I was telling Dave about it, he was interested, and I knew it was like a super smart, super great team player, and I knew she would help control like the craziness between me and Dave, so I kind of asked her to get involved too.
Yeah, I mean, well, when you asked me, I had already been thinking about it, which was also really cool. Like, I had already been thinking about it, and then you asked me, and I was like, oh, I was looking for a team anyways. But mostly, I remember I was going into my second year being like, I'll take any opportunity that comes my way, that sounds interesting, like no matter what the outcome.
I want to know what each one of you brings to the table, but I don't want you to tell me.
I can talk about Dave. So I think Dave is definitely the most creative thinker on the team. He also he has this like, not that he doesn't care, but he doesn't. It's like he like thinks about what information he needs to get. He doesn't care how he goes about getting it.
David, tell me what does a new bring to the table?
Her energy that she brings and keeps us aligned to the tasks that we have to do, aware of our timeline, and really just is great at looking at what's on paper and realizing whether we are going the right direction or the wrong direction and what needs to change.
I think Mo, if anything, just like kind of was a spark and like sparked ideas for sure. Like he started he was like, look at this cool thing that I read, and then it sparked us to be like, oh, that's cool, and then we like looked into it more and stuff. You definitely had a lot of resources at Pitt and like directed us towards things. You were very good at finding resources, like finding the Institute of Precision Medicine, finding Dr. Hackle's lab and Dr. Zaya. So that was really cool.
Professionally and then personally, what do you hope to get out of this experience?
I think professionally, I hope to just like have some research under my belt and like know how to literally start from the very beginning till the end. And because I never get to do that. And then personally, just like doing all the communication stuff, not even just the research stuff, but like the media things, the traveling, that stuff has been really cool.
What I'm looking to get out of this is kind of like someone approach me and say, hey, I have a question for you. And it kind of just like bring it all around, and that would be nice to be able to help someone else just from our research.
I'll speak to the personal side. I think everyone kind of thinks space is really cool when they're a kid, and they kind of tuck it away when they see it as this unattainable thing that only, the geniuses at Harvard get to become the astronauts, things like that. But for me to be able to take a part in something that I really always wanted to do, I think that brought a lot of personal fulfillment.
I want you to tell me again your space hero and why.
My space hero was Dr. Mae Jemison. She was the first African American female in outer space, and I just think that's very impressive, and I don't think anyone could have done that at that time.
My space hero, her name is Katie Bowman, and she was the one that like helped compile the images to take the picture of that black hole that like made everyone crazy when it came out. And I just thought that was really cool because like first of all, she's very young and she's a female, which is like crazy for her to have done that.
My space hero is the first person to golf on space, so maybe not as outstanding. I don't know. I feel like it's now a joke comparing it to the people you two said, but Alan Shepard, he tried 2 attempts to hit a golf ball off the moon and was successful eventually.
Give me your super secret space power.
Oh, okay. I think my space power would be to travel faster than the speed of light. So I think it would be really cool to be able to teleport into the distant beyond and see it for myself.
Would you wear a cape?
No, I'd wear a spacesuit because otherwise I'd die.
No, I just like imagine Captain Marvel, where like she can like fly through galaxies and stuff with like no protection, and like can move like spaceships with her bare hands. I just think that's awesome.
First one that came to my mind was talking to animals, just because it would be funny to like walk down the street and one dog's barking at their owner and you're like, oh, it needs some water, or hey, it wants to go to the park right down the street. Come on. And
You'd be able to communicate with aliens
Yeah.
if you found them.
calling aliens animals?
It could be.
Huh, okay.
Who knows?
Speak every language, including animals.